All right, welcome back to another video. Here's an understanding that I believe applies to almost everything that we come across with in life, but it's something that's helped me tremendously when it comes to my approach for exercise and training. And what that understanding is just knowing that exercise is a privilege. When we can change our mentality for how we think about exercise, it makes it a lot easier to overcome a lot of the self-inflicted hurdles that we face that stops us from not just exercising, but what comes at the other end of our fitness journey. Not that it's not a lifetime endeavor, but to some capacity, we are exercising to at least at some point come across improved health, a more ideal physique, in our opinion, longevity. If you're not exercising consistently, you're not even going to make it to these mile markers that we're hoping to get to. And the best approach is understanding that exercise is a privilege. It's not something that we have to do, it's something that we get to do. And when we have that understanding, we know that we're in a better space than we actually display when we're complaining about it. It almost reminds me of children. I have children, and it's not that it's a good or bad thing on their part. I know I was the same when I was younger, but you're talking to your young child and they don't want to go to school. They're thinking, why do I have to go to school? This is horrible. I don't like this. I'd rather stay home. And you explain to them, I understand that right now school is something that you may not understand the benefits of what comes with it, but you should know how fortunate you are to at least have this opportunity when there are many people in this world who just wish that they could get an education. Or if an education is something that's even available to them, they may wish that they had a nice vehicle to get them to school, paved roads, nice clothes, first class facility, textbooks that are modern and new, computers, playgrounds, just so many things if you want to keep pulling at that string. And we really need to look at our fitness and our capacity to exercise in the exact same light. I've heard somebody explain, for multiple people actually, say something of a similar sentiment. With all the money that Steve Jobs had at the time of his passing, I'm sure he would have given every cent of that away for good health. Good health that you and I are having in this moment, hopefully. I know health sometimes comes and goes, but in at least a general sense, the ability to get up and pursue whatever it is that we desire, the ability to get up and make these personal improvements on ourselves is tremendously valuable. And these are just the people who wish they had more life. What to speak of the people who are here, they have more life, they're going to have some form of opportunity tomorrow, but not at the same level as you. They may have physical handicaps. They may be unable to do the type of movements that you do. They may be much farther along the path towards exercise and fitness as you are. And instead of thinking, I wish I could go to the gym and work hard today, what they're striving for is, I just want to walk up and down my driveway, or I just want to walk around the block without being excessively winded. And of course, if you're in that space, that's fine. But at least from my personal experience working and managing health clubs over the years, people with this type of deteriorated conditioning are actually in the few, maybe the bottom 5 or 10%. The majority of people are somewhere in the middle. They're able to lift weights, they're able to run on a treadmill for a limited amount of time. They're all deconditioned as well, but they're in a great position to make huge strides in their health, wellness, and physiques if they're just able to be consistent. So just understand, this isn't something that we should be feeling as if the hurdle is insurmountable mentally. I know many people say, I just can't do it. I can't get up. I can't get myself to the gym. I just don't like it. And yet I am extremely unhappy with my health. Got my blood work back. Things aren't looking good. I'm trying to make a change in lifestyle, but it's so difficult. I'm needing to lose a certain amount of weight. My doctor is telling me I need to lose this weight. One of the big ones that I would hear from a lot of people is, actually, there's two, and I'll share both of them with you. The first one is, I have children now. I want to change my life. I want to be able to run around with them when they get older. I don't want to be that person who's sitting on the bench watching my children play, unable to actually get up and interact with them. I want to be as physically healthy to spend as much quality time with them as possible. The other scenario I would hear is, I'm newly divorced. I allowed myself to deprioritize my health and my fitness over the years. And now I'm finding myself in a space where I'm depressed, I'm low on energy, I'm low on confidence. I would like to meet somebody new, but I don't even feel that I'm in a space to approach somebody and go through any phase of that process. And so I want to start working on myself. I want to lose weight. And you could just hear how important these things would be to anybody in these positions. And yet they still have the mental hurdle that will stop them from going in at the cost of their health, at the cost of their social life, at the cost of their romantic partners potentially. And it stems from just thinking that this is another chore that we have to do, that this is something that we're supposed to punish ourselves through instead of actually enjoying. And the best way to turn that corner is to have a level of appreciation. Just like I was talking about those children that have this luxury experience, even by most of the world's standards, of going from point A to point Z, getting to school, and every step of the way. Look up people in other countries who love bodybuilding but don't have the proper facilities. Look up how they're making cement molds with buckets and attaching those to the end of poles and using these for bench presses and curls. Look at the people who are creating pull-ups, pull-up bars outside with all of these different poles and how they set things up and the arrangements they have. And it's just another reminder that we don't have to do that for the most part. We have nice facilities that we could go to. Unless we're in those janky old school gyms, more than likely we're going to have all of our dumbbells laid out for us, smallest to largest, 5-pound increments with nothing missing in between. No mismatched weights. No one is a hexagon and the other one is round. We're going to have a wide variety of weight machines, a wide variety of treadmills. We're going to have so many things and so much access to where privileged in this regard, and we have these opportunities, and we're blessed with an able body that many people wish that they had. I heard an interview with Ice-T that he said something that still struck me to this day. He said he was making an analogy about life, but he used the gym as an example, and it was perfectly applicable. He said that when you're working out in the gym, if you look to the left of you, you're going to see people that would kill to be in your shoes. And if you look to the right of you, you'll see people who you would kill to be in their shoes. So no matter what space you think you're in, just know that so many people wish that they had your abilities, wish they had your opportunities, wish they had your access. And when we have this understanding ourselves, it just turns that perspective from the gym, fitness, and exercise being something grueling that we self-impose on ourselves, that we essentially tie a weight to our leg or put on a weighted vest that makes it mentally, figuratively, so much harder to do our workouts when we just start understanding how fortunate we are for everything that we have. It'll make it that much easier. So that's it for this one. This is something, again, that's helped me out tremendously. It's not a permanent fixture in my mind. It's something that I do have to remind myself of, remind myself to be grateful, remind myself to be appreciative, and remind myself to understand the blessing of an opportunity that each day brings. And when I start focusing on that understanding, it just makes these pursuits much more easier to pursue. If you have an opinion, I would like to hear it. Share a comment below. If you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I am a new YouTuber, so this is extremely helpful, and I'll talk to you next time.